Yeah, we've always been very, very keen to harp on any issues when a team goes for very early support picks that don't have wave clear and don't deal with the rat potential. You know, previously when the Necro books were still in, we were just seeing that at a consistent rate of the Beastmasters, the Lycans always running those heroes down. When people were opening up with like an AA Nyx Assassin, you were just getting heavily penalized. So for IG, if they want to go down that route here, they still have the potential. I mean, there's a lot of opening they can go.
I don't know if the Beastmaster can work though, right? Because they've got the Enchantress. Venomancer. Yep. It's okay. I mean, the Ursa's not going to care all that much about the Venomous scale, right? The Enrage is just going to immediately get rid of it, but so you're not going to get kited around amazingly well in team fights. It still is quite annoying to play into, I suppose, and the early stages are going to be a bit rougher. So I don't hate it. As well, it's another one of those things where you don't have a good way to clear waves out, and so you can just park yourself quite aggressively, put up a bunch of Plague Wards, and what can MagMa do to try and fight into it, you know?
I like
3 Venom, huh?
Yeah, I like that they paired it with the Earthshaker too, because I feel like
10 seconds remaining.
Rotating mid to TA, who's got pretty decent kill threat, like around level 4 to 6. So that's when ES will probably start to see the rotations, and Veno can, I believe, leave that lane. I don't know how Enchantress and Ursa are going to kill the Venomancer, especially once she hits levels. So it's a pretty okay matchup versus TA because you can deal with the refraction. My only issue is that you are very reliant on like Lion and Ursa having blink to kill Veno. Like you don't want heroes that just run into a Venomancer with Plague Wards all set up. You're never going to get on top of it fast enough. You need that instant gap close, and DP does not have that.
Sure, but I feel like that might only be the first 10 or so minutes, and then once the smokes happen and you try and make a wraparound, that can be where DP has a higher level of effectiveness. And I mean, the DP is good against like lots of slow ticking damage, and Venomancer is that. But then you're also against a TA who's going to have the natural order buff, debuff on the enemies. So that's a lot of burst through already. And then the Earthshaker as well, if he gets in position, can land a big Echo Slam, big stun combination. You're not able to get off the Spirit Siphons, and you end up dropping down. So
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, I have faith that Dust is going to be able to get a decent amount out of this lane. Is it going to be enough though? And then another big weakness of Magma's draft is right now, IG have a way to take Ancients, Magma do not, unless it's the tail end of an exorcism being used to farm it up. And I don't think we're going to be seeing, Ursa Battle Fury or anything like that coming out. Did you get booted?
Yeah, same.
Very cool. Thank you, Dota 2 client. I didn't have the chat open. I wasn't sure if, there might have been a connectivity issue or something like that. Please, not this again. Not again.
Oh. Have you got in? I haven't.
Nope.
All right.
Waiting to watch game, and then it goes to a black screen for half a second, and then it comes back, and I'm still on the main menu.
So we may have, for anyone that was here previously, we had to do a.
Let me have a quick look on the websites.
Yeah, we had to do a good old stream off the China broadcast, so there's a very good chance that we have to do that again, considering some reason the firewall has kicked us out once again. So I've restarted Dota. I am hoping that for some reason this has given us a solution to the issue.
I don't think we even need the restart. I'm on a loading screen again. Hopefully I clicked the right button. For people...
Wait, you're loading back into the draft?
Yes. IG have last picked Magnus.
Huh.
And we're waiting on Magma's last pick now.
Why can you get in and I can't?
I'm just built different.
Oh.
Can you join off me?
Oh. We're good. We're in the clear. Let's go, baby.
All right. Magnus, huh? I mean, this is a very farm-intensive lineup, so you're not going to out-farm this, period, on MagMa. So they're going to need to get really aggressive. What offlaner is going to allow them to do
Choose
that?
your hero.
Timbersaw, the word hate gets thrown around a lot these days, but I hate this Timbersaw pick.
Do you? What's the issue with the Timber this game? Let's hear it.
I mean, Timber's one of those heroes that has a lot of max HP eventually, and Venomancer is going to be able to deal with that due to the new change of the whatever it's called, Nova, Poison Nova. ET is going to lower your armor. Sure, you're going to get the green plus armor on top of that, but you've also got a Magnus and a TA that are very capable of very quickly dealing with you before you get those stacks up. You know, it's a lot of burst damage that comes out super early, and I don't feel like they have the turnaround potential, right? Like, if Timbersaw gets gone on, what do you have to be able to stop it? Like, Mian needs to literally land the perfect Earth Spike onto 3 heroes every single team fight. And he's a good player, but I don't think you should be forcing him to shoulder that much weight.
I think what the Timber provides him is giving a opportunity for the Lion to be able to make rotations and mirror the Earthshaker, because we've seen there's been a ridiculous amount of emphasis from any team that has an Earthshaker to always be walking mid and putting a lot of pressure on the enemy's position too. So I think with having a hero that's very self-sustainable means that Lion can get a little bit more active. Not only just that, he can also then maybe be this +1 down to the safe lane, which I thought was going to be a big issue with how they were going to kill the Veno. So maybe having a Lion to TP through could enable them a little bit more to shut down that lane. And I think Timber free farms against a Mag plus ET. I don't think he has any issues there at all. So I'm in agreement that the Veno is still a pretty difficult matchup to play into, and especially more now because of the change to Poison Nova and probably because Spirit Wrestle was picked up. But if he can go BKB and they can win fights through the through BKB usages, then I think MagMa should still be okay.
Was Tidehunter banned? Do you remember seeing it? Because I feel like this would have been a great Tidehunter game. I
don't know. I just joined in like at the very end, so I'm not sure if Tide was banned. It would have been very nice to have some AoE control extra to enable the Ursa. I mean,
so much about it is good, honestly. A potential Tidehunter. Like, I'm not going to go into it too much because, you know, what's done is done. But it's one of the best heroes against a Magnus because you just crack and shell out of the RP. Earthshake can't really chain lock you down, and you've got a lot of physical damage reduction against 2 heavy. Hell, even 3. Like, we saw how much Ollie was able to get done in that game number 2 on this Elder Titan, right? So you don't have to worry quite as much about Mag, TA, and Elder Titan. So I feel like it would have been great to be able to, like, let's say there's a 4-man RP, right? And Tidehunter's one of them, and he crack and shells it off because of the AoE damage. You Ravage, you're able to potentially turn around a team fight. If Timbersaw gets gone on, what happens? Like, the entire team just dies, and maybe you live because you're inherently tanky, but the rest of the team is dead, so it doesn't matter.
You sounded like a Timber hater. That's all I can hear from you. Hater. I mean, I also was saying that I don't think the hero is very good after the patch, so I still haven't really been... I've seen a couple of...
So you're a hater?
I mean, I guess you could classify that as a hater. Am I on the same board as you as being a hater? I don't know. That's a good question. I feel like he's going to have a very good lane, and I think that's a huge weakness of Timber and where he got nerfed very heavily. So giving him a free lane, we've seen Timbers pop off. Is this a game? Again, I feel like it relies on the BKBs, but what about the mid matchup? Dust and Emo, is this a decent lane for Emo, or is he going to rely pretty heavily on the jungle to keep up?
I think a bit of both, but it's going to be dependent on the rotation coming through from the supports, right? Like, Ursa can't really leave this lane. Enchantress can't really leave the Ursa in this lane, which makes things a little more difficult. Whereas the Earthshaker, once Venomancer gets a few levels into the Poison Sting, probably 2 points in the Plague Ward, you're very capable of securing your farm. Kaka, though, he's going to be the one getting gone on a little bit here. And, well, there come the stun from the Shard Golems.
One more right
That's gonna
click.
be
Oh,
enough.
wow. That self pop from Kaka is just keeping his life.
Just needs that little bit more micro there from Kaz. I mean, the Shard Golems were just sitting off to the side, not really doing too much of anything after they got the stuns off. So that's where being a box dragging Chad is the way to go, you know?
Oh, Emo taking a little bit of damage here. Dust doesn't have another
Kaka's getting gone on.
siphon in this available. Bot lane, yeah, like we were saying, Kaka ends up falling. So he popped the self to keep his life, and he's still going to end up dropping as well. Kaz picking up an early kill. And is he going to de-block the hard? Yep, so he's also going to have the hard camp available pretty soon as well.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Immediately just gets re-sentry. That's a feels bad right there. As Kaz, well, he's like, you know what, if they're going to commit that hard onto it, I'm just going to look to take up this Satyr Tormentor and then take the Bounty Rune. Yep, gets it in time. So Kaka a little bit slow on the Fisher Stun coming through there. Lots of damage actually coming in onto this Earthshaker. As mid lane, Dust, you can see here, as soon as he gets the second point there into the Spirit Siphon, he knows he can be a lot more aggressive against Emo because he doesn't have to worry about the long recharge time. You know, 34 seconds. Once you got the 2 charges, you can afford to play around it a little bit more.
I wonder how much emphasis we're going to see on Kaka from making stacks as well for TA. Because at the moment, there's none at the Ancients nor the Hard. So a hero that very much thrives on being able to clear the Ancients at a very fast timing to hit the itemization for Emo. So we'll see if Kaka can enable that.
Right, like the wave is pushed into the perfect position for him to be able to do it. So this rotation's going to be a little slow. You know, he might be able to get the hard camp stacked up a little bit. Actually, just looking to body block perhaps, or get some vision of where a rune might be getting picked up. But no, Kaz just is like, all right, I'll take that Wild Wing Ripper.
Mag's got Skewer still, but just gets the Whirling Death up and available in the arsenal for the Timbersaw, and a big solo kill for Timber. And there's just nothing Ollie can do. He just has to watch his position 1 get brought down.
It was in a little bit of a 1v1 battle with Mian at the time, but again, super early on, it doesn't feel like... I mean, the fact that Ursa's been left solo and has been having an okay time on this bottom side is a pretty big win for MagMa. Getting up onto the level 4 now, of course. 2 points in the enchant as well, so the extra duration on that slow can be really impactful. Extra duration on being able to steal over the creep. The slow's going in onto Kaka a little bit here. I think it's just for a little bit of harass. Nothing too substantial.
Still kind of surprised we haven't seen as much rotations from Kaka at the moment. I guess maybe waiting for level 5 for JT, then they might feel a little bit more confident with leaving him solo, but yeah, we haven't seen as much emphasis from him from helping out the middle lane.
I mean, it's not even just that for mine, right? Like, you can not rotate for the middle lane. It's okay in my eyes. As, well, you have a Satyr Mind Stealer now, taken over by Kaz, so he's going to go towards the mid lane, try and burn some mana out of these IG heroes. See you later, Emo's mana. And
Okay,
with that, they're just going to pop the Exo, okay.
It's got the backline stab. They might just target Oli, recognizing Emo's a little bit too difficult of a task to kill, but it looks like Oli might be difficult as well. Kaka just shone up.
They're still going to be able to use the Exorcism. It's got about half duration left here to try and take out this mid tower. It's just the weight of numbers. You know, you've even got the creep that's going to be able to tank up a little bit extra if they get the aggro in onto him. So I think, you know, MagMa, they're okay with this. And for mine, yeah, I feel like Kaka needs to be doing a lot more in terms of stacking up, right? You've got a TA, you've got no heroes right now on MagMa's side that are remotely capable of taking stacks.
Top, they won't really need to drop an exo for this. You're going to have a massive creep wave. TZY is already looking to start tanking up the tower. So they've just got the Lion heading over there. But yeah, I mean, you always want to find early towers on the Death Prophet, and the conversion rate from exos into kills or towers is a big factor on if this hero is going to scale and have a successful game. And well, the fact that they first Xism nets them a very important tier 1 tower mid is some good signs at the moment from MagMa.
And the fact that he did it like immediately after he hit up onto level 6 as well is the big bonus. Sure, it was a nice Fisher coming out from Kaka to prevent kills from coming, but you're happy with first Exorcism for it to be one or the other. You know, kill or objective, you're totally cool with it.
And Venomancer, quite often we saw TNC pretty much, I don't want to say solely win a major off it, but KP's Veno, where he would just single-handedly defend the tier 1 tower mid with ease, was a big factor on why they were able to take it. The issue is for JT now, that you've already lost the tier 1 mid. Like, how can you defend that? Like, it's not as easy to get set up around top than what it is in the middle lane for a Veno.
You don't think it was on the back of
It was a lot. It was a lot. They won a lot of games from his Veno too.
Look, I support my man KP, you know, every day of the week, but I feel like the Morph Shaker was a little busted at the time.
Oh, without a doubt.
Were the only ones that took full advantage.
Quite honestly, I did kind of forget on how much they used it, so you are definitely right. But you are definitely right there. If you're going to put something, you're going to say something, it's probably the Morph Earthshaker with how ridiculous they were getting with it. It felt like, oh my god, they were just... I remember those days, and it felt like they were coming back as well for a while. The Ag Shard. Oh god, the second round with it with the Ag Shard for a while. My god.
Man, Man's even making some super aggressive movements here. I wonder if they're going to go for a turnaround potential with a second Exo perhaps coming out. Able to dodge out the Poison over on the DP. Still get 2 kills, but it provides, most importantly, some space for Timbersaw and Ursa to continue farming. So I don't think they mind this all that much right now on Team MagMa. You know, ultimates used, rotations committed. Dust is going for a solo kill here onto Emo.
Emo's got Refraction up shortly. And, well, there's this Xism conversion like I was speaking about. It's gone into the higher ground, straight into the Magnus, dropping the RP and picking up an incredibly valuable kill.
I don't know what that's all about. Like, that is bizarre. You know, maybe if you'd absolutely bodied, never gonna happen in the game, but if you were level 12 at that point, maybe you could attempt to go for that, but into no vision when Magnus is off the map and 1v3 Exorcism level 1 when I think he only had 1 Spirit Siphon charge at the time? No.
Well, they still have a solid lead though from Radiant, even though Ursa's not farming the greatest. It looks like Mag and TA a little bit behind at the moment. That's actually one thing, you know, we haven't put a whole lot of emphasis on with how greedy IG are, and that they have 2 heroes that really want to be playing around the triangle. Do you feel like this is going to be a bit of an issue?
Potentially. Sorry, I'm just having a look at this mid lane here where they've picked up an early Spirit Vessel already on JT as a result of a couple of those early kills, but it just feels like TZY doesn't care all that much. They don't have the follow-up damage to enable it to become more of a factor. Maybe with that double damage room, but Kazu's going to pick it up instead. I mean, at least Emo, once he picks up that Blink Dagger, is going to be able to play a bit more of that side lane shover, you know, because they don't have any way to lock him down. Once he's got the refraction charges up, Lion needs to be there. So as soon as Mian is showing on the map anywhere, you can very safely just go into one of the side lanes and split push. And the worst case is you get gone on, you know, they might drop a silence onto you, they might hit you a few times, but as long as you got refraction up, you can just blink away and TP and they have no way to stop them.
They're going to make an attempt on TZY. Poison Nova along with the Spirit Vessel, and great timing, stopping the chain away, and TZY won't have another round of this until too long, as JT will claim the kill. And here's that little bit of percent damage coming into play with all the toolkit that the Venom has. And are they actually going to get set up for... Okay, I was going to say, hang on, that's... Oh, they were probably thinking about Ursa, of course. I'm like, hang on, there's no way they're taking Roche right now.
It was such a heavy commitment onto the Timbersaw, though. I went back and watched it. They had 9
Emo mid lane. Smoke from both the two. They need to deal with the refraction. Then they should be able to go through the remaining health thanks to the Finger of Death charged up from Mian. And he's up to his first stack of the game now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if you're going to commit that heavily, there was a double Observer Ward dropped in the mid lane a few minutes ago.
Double the
just saw
value.
that.
Come on, you're a
Double the
support player.
value.
You should know this.
Yeah, I mean, you got 2 eyes, so you need 2 Observer Wards.
100%. It's a common thing that I thought everyone knew. I guess not. It's like the core is giving you the extra attributes, like just the secret thing, and double the observer wards nearby. It's you know, when you've got a teammate that's feeding and wasting your observers, they're doing it for a reason. It's because of the power they are providing you with vision.
Well, and speaking of vision, JT, he's gonna have some somewhat spidey senses tingling, saying, are they doing Roche? Are they considering this? There's no real reason for the supports to be hanging around outside the Roche pit otherwise, but even though you might know about it, no Echo Slam, no Blink Dagger, no Poison Nova. All they really had at the time was the RP, and with Fly with just the 1 point in the skewer and still 1,500 gold away from his Blink Dagger himself, he wasn't really in a position to be able to contest either. So first Roche, pretty good timing coming through there from Bai.
Ooh, do they have the Veno near? Oh, they dragged him away from the Veno, but great placement in the RP. Closer enough so JT can get that Spirit Vessel charge out, and that is another kill in a row with getting rid of the Timber Saw before he has this second defensive itemization.
Hey, what's he going into? Lotus Orb, I like it. You know, you want to make sure that you're... I mean, they've got nothing that's targeted, but just anything that's able to quickly remove any kind of debuffs onto you. And yep, there goes the double Observer Ward value coming through from Ollie. So big injection of gold coming through for him.
Do you reckon he said something to the team? Like, look at these noobs dropping 2 wards in mid. We've got this, guys.
I mean, us supports, we have to have something to hang our hats on. And if we're eventually able to get something like that, you'd be like, I could ward better than this guy.
Oh, we saw Ollie in the previous game with the ET. Somehow he was able to get enough farm towards the Aghanims, and maybe at least for Karka and Emo, they're going to get a steroid with this kill. Karka's even going to drop the Echo. No messing around to try and control the Ursa to enable a TP out, but still the damage continuing to skyrocket once he's able to find these Fury Swipe stacks.
Alright, so he's got his Blink Dagger now on Emo. He's starting to build towards his Deso as well. So being able to farm a lot quicker. Of course, you want to take any jungle camps that you can while you're in the region. But I want to see if he's changing up the way that he plays now. You know, like I said before, unless Lion is there, you cannot die. You don't have a lot of small instances of damage, and you don't have any lockdown outside of this Yule Scepter. So provided that you're able to get in position and get the blink off, there shouldn't be a way for Emo to die if he's off on his own, split pushing down a lane. Looks like they're not even committing anyone right now, just sitting passively in the jungle. Maybe just wanting to wait for Karka to have his Blink Dagger available. He's only 200 or so gold away. Just wanting to just play passive for now until he picks that one up.
Do you want to see Radiant make a play? Because they've got ages for another 2 minutes. Do you believe they can maybe take this tier 2 tower top off the back of level 2 Exism?
Is under attack.
Maybe they're waiting for the Lotus Orb again for the Timber Saw. Like
Sure.
it feels like they're already having to commit so heavily to be able to take him down that if he's got the Lotus Orb, it's going to become, I don't want to say impossible, but just so much harder. In the meantime, though, Karka has been able to finish that Blink Dagger, so they've got some turnaround potential. RP available, 50 gold away now on the Magnus, so he's been able to build that up too.
Mid lane,
He's pushed in the
Mion's going to reveal his own blink, JT, at least standing hand to hand with the Templar Assassin. But unfortunately, that is not enough to keep Emo alive, and Dust looking to transition this into a secondary kill, but he's going to be a bit cautious of his positioning. Unsure if Karka, if he has this next big item to turn a fight back around.
That's the thing though, right? Like, TA was just playing in the mid lane. Not really where you want to be, you know, you don't have the same level of safety. Lion wasn't showing on the map, and that's all it took, you know, just chain lockdown, burst down the TA, and how long we got on the edge? Just still a minute or so. So even though they've got now the turnaround potential with the Echo Slam, with the Blink Dagger, 5 seconds on the cooldown, and the Blink RP as well, it feels a little scary, and it's probably a death that they could have easily avoided on TA. More stuff available as well. Top side might only net them Kaz. At least they'll be able to dodge out a lot of these deep observer wards coming through here as the pause comes through from Kaka. I think he was the one experiencing a few of those lag problems in game number 1.
Oh, they might be strategizing how they want to take this smoke angle though. See, Kaz is going to be at least the entree if they want to jump the Enchantress. Definitely wanting a more juicier target. Unfortunately, Ursa, it looks like his next farming pattern is back towards a triangle, so they won't catch him out. And
Okay, so you know I'm a hater for this item. However,
Ooh.
Kaz, with his Falcon Blade, it's not bad. It's not bad on an Enchantress. You know, it gives you that
not
little
the
bit
Lich.
of mana regen.
You sure? You sure Lich Falcon Blade's not too bad?
Or the Omni Knight. Oh, that was disgusting, honestly. Like, the 12 damage does nothing for those heroes, whereas at least an Enchantress, every now and then, you're going to throw out an Impetus.
I don't know. You got big issues with some of the stuff that MagMa are doing. I see it. I see right through you.
Dude, come on. When is an Omni Knight right-clicking? When is a Lich right-clicking? If you are, you're probably out of position.
I'm in agreement as well. I feel like if someone's gonna go for it, the Enchantress Falcon Blade definitely does not seem the worst at all. If late game prowess, if Enchantress can somehow find a little bit of farm, even then, like if you're not dealt with in a team fight, it can cost your team to eat up about 2-3k damage surprisingly, and you wouldn't really expect it for someone with a position 5. But Kaz, if you can find the levels, and the impetus can definitely start to rack up here. So IG gonna have to keep tabs on that, but they also have a lot of more valuable heroes that they have to bring down as well to start. The Lion is a lot of their control. If you can burst through the Death Prophet, with this big ultimate or with the sustain, it's going to be very valuable.
Yeah, for sure. And he's going into the hood next. I'm all good with that. They've got a lot of magical damage right now, of course, with the Venomancer. You want to be able to deal with it. He's only got the 1 point in the Nature's Attendant so far, so I wonder if that's going to be what he maxes out next, so that you can have full tankiness available as he's getting gone on a little bit. Will the Falcon Blade save him?
Courier has been killed.
Yo! Okay.
So close.
I thought that the rest of... I like what they were doing to start that fight. They were jumping in Emo and then kind of baiting the TA and dangling him to see if there was any reinforcements to somewhat back up the Enchantress. Oh no, the Plague Ward! Oh! It might not cost them still. Age is going to tick out in 15 seconds. So Ursa still has this round too. There's no TPs coming at the moment. They're actually just running over.
After the enrage.
And they're not going to commit on forward. And now TZY swinging on over. It's going to try and prioritize the Elder Titan, drag him away from the fight. But if they can get JT, man, what a counter initiation. RP from Firefly, drag back into the Earth Splitter. The Wombo combo to bring down 2. Now TZY is a bit more of a difficult task though. See if this Spirit Vessel can come into play. Once again, he's used a Load of Sword preemptively, so he doesn't have the Purge. A big itemization to deal with the tanky Timber, and Kaka will cut off the retreat opportunity from Kaz as well.
And that was with everyone rotating. They just ran to their deaths, and then on the backside he was just dealing with Plague Wards. He was hitting a few things on the backside and not even doing anything to extend his farm. So it's going to cost them a top tower. It's going to cost them 4 deaths, and well, suddenly things are swinging a lot further in IG's favor. They get big value out of those first Blink Daggers coming out there. They didn't use Exorcism. They didn't have it available, sure. But I felt like you could have probably taken that fight a little better. Not force everyone to commit it onto an Ursa that doesn't even want to fight. Speaking of him as well, he's got his own Blink Dagger.
This is a very awkward smoke. You see, he's like, do I go with the Lion? Do I go back to the Courier? What do I do? I'm just going to place a ward down in the lane. They thought someone was just going to instantly TP to the opposite side of the map and clear out bot. Emo might still head over there after the Ancients. Let's see if they stick around long enough. Oh, he's coming.
It's such a juicy wave on the bot side, yeah. Any core worth their salt isn't going to just let this go. And you can see precasting the overpower
Emo,
as well. They want to
do
catch
it.
out Emo.
Oh, Emo.
It's there. It's like you see things like a Venus flytrap and you're like, how could people fall for this? Well, that was the Venus flytrap.
Kills traded across the map. Looks like objectives soon to be traded as well. Bottom's not as important for IG. It's mainly just like a TP location to get towards bottom, maybe make a play in. They're looking to take the tower, then instantly answer the mid defense, and they'll get there fast enough to hold the tower. TZY, Shockwave just actually kind of messing up the skill from Fly.
A little bit of, I don't want to say miss macro coming out there from JT, but the play wards were hitting TZY for a big amount of time, just stacking up those charges. They could look to make an aggressive play onto it, but again, reactive armor, so much regen right now, so much armor that you couldn't really deal with it. They still end up taking the tower, so it's a win for IG. They might look to back up, smoke a little bit. That DD on the bottom side is definitely going to help, as all of the ultimates available.
They're not behind TZY. He's in trouble.
Close, though.
Oh, they can push him further away. DD revealed as well, and TZY still... They didn't want to commit the Echo Slam there. It might cost them, or maybe they're just baiting! Because Kaka finds 3, will rip apart both the Lion and the Timbersaw, and they forced the Ursa to reveal his hand. He jumped in to try and protect them, but he wasn't fast enough.
It just feels like they're dripping in one at a time, and unfortunately, this isn't the MagMa that we saw in such dominant fashion in game number 1. They're not playing together. They're not respecting the ultimates available. The double damage, of course, helps on Emo, but, I mean, it's going to cost them. Already using the glyph means that with the siege creep as well, still alive, they're going to continue to push here into this top side. And with the Plague Wards as well, so much harder to contest into this.
How long till EXO? 35 seconds, so... Looks like they're just happy with the tier 3 tower, and to reset here from Invictus Gaming, been able to accumulate a 3,000 net worth lead. They've still got some bounties to go back and munch up on as well, and head towards these next set of items. Oh, Emo? Well, you're baiting yourself, brother. You've only got Ollie to back you up, and... Oh, he was going for the cute play, just... it might get Miami on. Oh my god, so close.
You know, sometimes you gotta lose big to win big, you know?
Sure.
He's wanting to feed them through a little bit of kills so that when he does eventually turn around and carry the game, there's that juicy streak gold to get. And immediately smoke coming up as well. The kill squad of Mian and Bai coming out here, looking to attempt a kill. They still do have that observer ward that's about to expire, so they know the general location of IG, but look at them. They're just all clumped together. They've got a pretty good understanding.
Oh, nice. Fissure again, man. Kaka. And now they can go on 3. Man, the supports from IG these past couple of minutes are playing exceptionally well, and has enabled IG to bring themselves in a firm control of this game 3. Gonna still try and push on forward for more. Fly, popping the BKB. It's gonna enable him to rip apart the Ursa. Do they still want to stick around, though? A heavy commitment in the Exorcism, as they might just try and chase through Kaka, who's doing a good job to kite through the initial damage. Even Miamian's looking to buy back as well, just in case a further fight breaks out, but it'll only be a couple of kills in round 1.
Should have pig-poled, you know, could have got away if he pig-poled.
It's actually, excuse you, it's pog pole as well. Show some respect.
Radiant's bottom tower is
I refuse. I played with a Slark yesterday.
Oh no.
Oh my god, twice he was getting gone on in the middle of a fight when he had his ultimate available to use, and he just pig-poles and makes himself completely useless for 4 seconds. Gets gone on, dies. It happened like twice in the laning stage and once later on. It's like, come on, man. So now I have an eternal hatred for the item.
That's the difficulty of 1k pubs you're in, I understand.
1k immortal pubs, I agree.
Pressure's up. I should be able to get set up very well with these Plague Wards, just control the vicinity and make it so difficult for MagMa. And you're starting to see that Dire. They have multiple ways to start these fights. The Mag, the Earthshaker, even Emo can kind of jump in, maybe try and burst down a Lion or Enchantress, and then you've got some backup. You have the counter initiation, so you can kind of dangle your life a little bit.
I don't know what Maizale means, but I'm assuming it's some kind of lag again. It's so weird, right? Like there's the the Romanized version with like, English characters, and then there's of course, the Mandarin that gets used, which ironically enough, like the one that looks more understandable for English speaking audiences, where we understand what an M and an A and an I is. I can't just pop that into my Google Translate app and it'll just tell me.
We got chat. Someone said mic explode. Thank you, lads. This is the beautiful thing about not having being able to cast through Dota TV. At least we don't have to have too much of a disconnect from the boys. So apparently, someone said mic issues. We're also getting some microphone explode. So that's the classic Google Translate, right? That's the good old issue where there's a little things missing there sometimes. All right, well, Dust is still not level 18. That's one of the biggest timings in the game for the Death Prophet. Level 3 in Exism. He has also had to go for a pretty early pickup in the Aeon Disc. It's up to the second cooldown, 125.
The other big timing for MagMa, it has to be said, is this BKB, and you're still about 3,000 gold away on Ursa. So they're going to need to take essentially the perfect fight around this Roche pit where, IG, they have the vision advantage with the Psionic Trap. You've also got Plague Wards, you've got a Sentry Ward down there. So there's no way that they can just walk on in and grab that. And then another thing is you've got the Falcon Blade, of course, on Kaz, right? But can you imagine in these couple of fights, like how many times has Bai died? It's only 2. But it feels like his impact hasn't been anywhere near what it needs to be, especially considering he's gone a lot of these team fight items, the Diffusal Blade, the Blink Dagger. Can you imagine if he had a first item 4-star on this Enchantress instead of a Falcon Blade, right? He wouldn't have finished it because it still costs about 1,000 gold more. But, I mean, just the difference in being able to provide the Ursa with that extra little bit of survivability so he feels confident in taking these team fights could be the difference maker.
IG smoked up.
Kaz will break it.
Late in the charge. Enchantress doing Enchantress things, putting the body on the front line, popping smokes. But that pickoff is probably just leading into Roche quite often. Again, you're happy with trading a support life for a smoke, but if they can get an objective out of it, then that is not a worthwhile trade, as JT can start to stack up the Plague Wards. They're still a bit cautious on IG. Looks like they're actually content with maybe taking a fight, as TZY is posturing aggressively.
Chris Sump as well, not hitting onto anyone, and that's given time for Kaz to respawn. He's going to TP in, look to join the fight. Might still be a little bit late, and still not quite that level 18. I'm liking these Plague Wars positionings, though, coming out from JT. Early popping his... He's only got 1 Spirit Vessel charge left now. It did force the Yule Scepter out, maybe wanting to pop that Aeon Disc.
Aeon Disc, there we go. Pop to the moment here from Dust. Nice 3-man silence as well. Forces IG not to be able to counter-initiate and punish the Death Prophet, but the Aeon Disc now on cooldown. We just saw previously Dust, he backpacked it too to make sure it didn't get popped earlier. But now that is a big usage wasted, as pretty much he doesn't have this item here defensively to keep him alive through this potential fight. That's about to break out as Firefly once again starting it. They've got the follow-up. Kaka instantly jumping in with the Echo Slam, but maybe MagMa can turn it now, knowing the ultimate's on cooldown. The Ripper Pot of Venomancer is able to get the ultimate off before he dies. Exo charged up as well. They're trying to target down Emo's Templar Assassin, still without a BKB, so Emo will fall. He gets a triple kill before the death, but is it gonna matter? Here is Firefly as well, the next target on the agenda. And Echo Stomp giving him a little bit of space here for the Magnus. Kaka can also be the backup as well. So with a 3-on-3, maybe Radiant can go back into Roche. You've got the Ursa, you've got the DP, and it looks like they can take it.
Yeah, there's no way for them to stop. Again, it was a very heavy commitment from
Kaka,
Ultimate.
don't do it.
No.
Oh, don't boss up like this. Oh, Kaka, don't do it. Ah, too late. Okay. I think they might actually see him on the high ground. Yeah, they do. Okay. They saw him with that Observe Ward. TZY gonna catch him.
It was a buyback forced. I would say that's well worth it though, right? Like Ursa being able to get all of that gold, all of that experience. Second Roche picked up. Who got the
Shard?
Did Timbersaw take the shard?
Yeah, wow. I mean, I've just saw him use a flamethrower. I didn't even think about it. Really? I mean, Ursa Shard is like, that is...
It's bonkers, this game. Like, you're into a Spirit Vessel and a Venomancer.
What?
And you don't want to be popping the Enrage super early.
Man, this hero relies on shard timing. Like it's not... From what I'm aware, it's not different even after the patch. All they did was the Aghanim shard used to reduce the cooldown by a second. Yeah. I mean, it's still... Like, this hero does not scale as well into the late game. He very much relies on the second Roche timing. The fact they didn't give it to him, and it's not like they are relying on the Timber to be the one hitting objectives. Like, you have the Exo to do that, so I am intrigued.
You don't sound convinced.
No,
I'm not convinced. Just for full disclosure, I'm not convinced at all. I mean, I can understand why he picked it up, right? Like you had Kaka there. You were scared that he might come in and try and pick it up, but why use it then? You know, it's in your inventory. You can just very easily give it over to the Ursa. And well, it feels like he's still going to be a little bit away from having that full effectiveness. He doesn't have TP available, so he's forced to just walk on in and try and join the rest of his team. But yeah, he just needs to finish up this this BKB. He needs his level 18 as well. So it feels like there's a lot that's kind of falling by the wayside because of needing to try and protect against a lot of this push. At least to their credit, they don't have, like, you can't just boss up behind someone kind of like you can with a DP with the Exorcism, right? And look to take towers on IG's side. It's a very heavy committal, and we've seen so many times now that if Emo gets gone on by Mian, who I said he needed to have an amazing game, I'd say he's had a pretty damn good game so far. You know, 1-5-5 doesn't tell the story. The amount of times that he's been in place to make sure Emo doesn't rip them to shreds has been pretty significant.
Radiant looking to press on forward here. See if they can catch out. They don't have ET along with Templar Assassin nearby. Oh, Firefly? Just out on the outskirts of the Sentry range. How do we feel like the Aegis is going to change the status quo of this game? Because there's still a 6,000 net worth lead for IG. So do we feel like MagMa with the Aegis can kind of, you know, redirect how this game is looking?
I think it all is around this BKB timing, which is now coming out to buy. I think they're looking to smoke up very shortly. All grouped up. Creep gone. Smoke and join DP on top side and try and convert that into a tier 2 tower, perhaps. I might look to just get one more wave out of it.
What? Just going to TP in bot. I thought Radiant smoked and they were looking to connect like you were saying, but Dust just TP'd bot, so...
I was thinking about it. But yeah, the fact that Dust just TP'd as well means that this... It's a little odd, to be honest.
Like TA?
I mean, they're gonna find out, alright.
Oh my god, Emo, they're gonna be able to bring him down. BKB in the backpack! He wanted the arcane bottle and he's gonna be penalized.
He got chain lockdown anyway. I don't think he would have been able to pop it in time. It was another good shift Q of the Hex by Mian coming through there. But yeah, again, like, if people aren't if Lion isn't showing on the map, he might die though. Poor Mian.
It's a rough life to be living. It's just a support life.
If you don't see Lion and you are Emo, you need to just not show. You need to be farming safely. You're a TA, you know, you can farm triangle. You've got these observer wards set up to be able to help you. I don't think walking down into the river is the right choice.
Oh, he's going back into the Aghanims. Very interesting. Okay. Do you feel like...
I'm always a fan.
Are you more of a fan than like a utility item picked up? Say you're forced to kite the Ursa or, you know, some way to protect the team against the burst that they're showing with Lion and Ursa combined?
Honestly, I feel like just being there and being a legitimate, like, fourth core threat is a deterrent, you know? Like, he's been given over the Quicksilver Amulet. He's got level 15 now, so he's got the extra Astral Spirit damage. He's got the attack speed from Echo Stomp. Like, he is a legitimate beast in a lot of these team fights, and it wouldn't surprise me to see Ollie, like, be dealing out the majority of the damage in these next few team fights.
Well, here we go. Alex picked up. Any other item timings we're about to see? Firefly's looking to nullify. JT with A on disc, so he's pretty much itemized just to make sure he gets that ultimate off, especially considering he went into the Aghanim Scepter. And also the 9-second BKB reveal. Oh, they see a DD. He's going to be able to bottle that one too.
I know you're the pos one, but please give him power to Ollie. Like it's so important in all of these team fights to be able to burst people down ridiculously quickly. They're going to be able to
True.
dodge out a lot of this. They didn't see the smoke either, so Dusty might look to potentially group around. No, he's just going to TP away and join the rest of his team.
Wait, what?
Actually, the shortest TP of all time.
Wait, Dust? TZY's gonna... It's gonna put his team in a compromised position. They wanted to stay on their high ground. Fly looking to try and target down Lion. Not gonna drop the RP just yet, but the solo BKB secures the Lion kill. Securing the backline, JT. At least he's got the ultimate off. Can he get him back to safety? And, well, he'll be successful.
Coming back.
They want to go back in again! Fly! Echo follow-up! They force them all to come because of Fly's ulti! What a team fight!
Ugh.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And still he doesn't have the empower on the ET. I mean, come on.
Oh, they
guys.
called it
Just
off
call it.
that! I mean, they didn't have a buyback on Ursa and DP, but what a team fight to knock MagMa out of the I-League Season 2.
I mean, it was even done pretty well there by Mian. He kited out a huge portion of that BKB coming through from Fly, but unfortunately, they just weren't in position and they didn't have the sentry vision to be able to counter out any kind of Shadowblade reinitiation. And yep, you group up once against a Magnus and an Earthshaker without buybacks, where they're on your side of the map. That's pretty much going to be GG. So very convincing team fight victory. I thought MagMa could have taken it. You know, I had hope. They impressed in game number 1. I thought their draft is probably the big area that let them down, unfortunately.
Big props to IG from being able to come back with the game deficit they had, and it really felt like MagMa were somehow a team that had their number. You know, previous to these last 2 games, they were 3-3 against them, but for IG, they were just able to kind of draw back on that experience and at least force the game 3, and we just saw they could just come through with their clutch plays. I mean, time after time, it was just really down to these wombo combos. Like, it felt like almost all the fights we were seeing from them was just multi-man RPs, multi-man echo slams as well. And for Invictus Gaming, I mean, that was an incredible way for them to knock MagMa out as well. And I mean, man, this is our first series of the night, and it was such a stellar series, and I feel like this is just the entree to our next one. We have RNG versus Elephant. One of those teams are going to be eliminated on day 1 of the lower bracket. 2 incredibly powerful teams. I mean, I'm so excited for the next series.
Yeah, for sure. And whoever wins that series will be taking on IG in the next round, which I believe is tomorrow as well. So IG fans, they're still going to have a lot to watch here in the I-League. And yeah, like you said, RNG, Elephant, they're probably they were the ones struggling for that last TI spot. And, well, they're the ones struggling for their position in this tournament as well. So we'll see which team's able to come out on top. You would have to say that RNG probably has the richer vein of form in recent times, but anything can happen with all the experience on Elephant's heroes. So we'll have to see what they're able to do. Shouldn't be too long since we did go to the full 3 games as well. So no one in lobby at the moment, but I'm sure it shouldn't be that long.
Yeah, shouldn't. Hopefully not too long at all for our last series of the night. Next up, Elephant versus RNG. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be another stellar series.